Module 3, Camera and Parts. Viewfinder. A viewfinder is a small video monitor that allows the camera operator to view the images in the shot. There are basically three types of viewfinders for cameras: an ENG or EFP viewfinder, a studio viewfinder, and a swing out LCD screen. The viewfinder is usually mounted to the camera body so that the camera may be either handheld or tripod mounted. A viewfinder is simply a small video monitor similar to a home television receiver, except that it is wired directly to the camera and does not contain RP circuits to take signals from the air. Most cameras have small signal lights mounted inside the viewfinder hood so that you can monitor the operational characteristics of the camera without taking your eye from the viewfinder. Most viewfinders are mounted on the left side of the camera, making it difficult for a person who uses the left eye predominantly to operate the camera. People who wear eyeglasses also often may experience difficulties in looking into the viewfinder. The majority of viewfinders include contrast and brightness controls for adjusting the monitor in the viewfinder. These controls should not be adjusted except when the camera is either focused on a well-lit test pattern or is generating an internal test pattern called CO or bars. If adjustments are attempted while shooting anything other than a test pattern, the viewfinder may be incorrectly adjusted in attempting to compensate for a poorly lit subject. The image sensor. The type of image sensor in a camera greatly affects the quality of the image in its resolution or definition, picture defects and limitations. Most video cameras today are fitted with charge coupled device or CCD image sensors. The CCD is small, compact, rugged and consumes a low amount of power. A less frequently used but rapidly growing type of image sensor is a complementary metal oxide semiconductor or CMOS. So, you can see in the figure, CMOS chips traditionally have been more susceptible to noise. However, the technology in this area has significantly improved. CMOS chips consume as much as 100 times less power than a CCD and cost less to produce. However, CCDs have been used for a much longer period of time and so are much more mature. Historically, they tended to have a much higher quality, but the CMOS has caught up. There are several types of sizes of image sensors. These chips typically include hundreds of thousands of tiny independent cells called pixels or elements. Each cell develops an electrical charge according to the strength of the light that falls on it. The result is an overall pattern of electrical charges that correspond to the light and shade in the lens image. Color temperature. You have probably heard the phrase painting with light. How about the term red hot and white hot? These are many other phrases refer to the use of color temperature in still photography and cinematography. Color temperature is a crucial component on any scene in a video because it not only serves as a distinct tone of the shot, but also invokes a certain type of feeling or mood among the audiences. It is important to note that changes in color temperature seen by the human eye are not necessarily seen the same way through a camera. When shooting outdoors in bright sunlight, you need to adjust the color temperature to represent the colors you see accurately on a tape. Then when you move indoors, you will need to readjust the color temperature again to match what you see this time accurately on tape. This process of adjustment is called white balancing. The color temperature setting in your video camera tells it how it should see white. Once properly adjusted, the camera sees the color white as white and then adjust for all the other colors accordingly. Color temperature is usually measured in degree Kelvin or K. Most often you will be using either one of these two light sources: daylight, that is of 5600 Kelvin when shooting outside, and tungsten, that is 3200 K when shooting inside. A light source with a higher color temperature has more blue light than a light source with a lower color temperature. This means that higher color temperatures, that is over 5000 Kelvin, are considered cool, while lower color temperatures, that is under 5000 Kelvin, are considered warm. What is white balance? White balance is a camera control that adjusts the camera's color sensitivity to match the prevailing color of outdoor light: cooler, indoor light, warmer, or fluorescent light, greener. On most cameras, white balance may be set either automatically or manually. On professional cameras, white balance can be set to match exactly the light source you are shooting with. White balance basically means color balance. It is a function which gives the camera a reference to true white. It tells the camera what the color white looks like, so that the camera will record it correctly. Since white light is the sum of all other colors, the camera will then display all colors correctly. Black balance is an operation similar to white balance. As white balance gives the camera a reference to true white, black balance gives a reference to true black. This function is normally available only in professional cameras. Hand holding the camera. In handling a motion media camera, two words you must keep in mind are steadiness and smoothness. When you are shooting motion media, the camera must be held steady, and deliberate camera movements such as tilts, pans, dollies, zooming and so on must be made smoothly. Tripod. A tripod offers a compact, convenient method of holding a camera steady, provided it is used properly. It has 3 legs of independently adjustable length that are spread apart to provide a stable base for the camera. A tripod provides stability against downward forces and horizontal forces and movements about horizontal axis. The positioning of the 3 legs away from the vertical center allows the tripod better leverage for resisting lateral forces. Tripods are usually made from aluminum, carbon fiber, steel, wood or plastic. Tripods are used for both still and motion photography to prevent camera movement. They are necessary when slow speed exposures are being made or when lenses of extreme focal length are used, as any camera movement while the shutter is open will produce a blurred image. In the same vein, they reduce camera shake and thus are instrumental in achieving maximum sharpness. A tripod is also helpful in achieving precise framing of the image, or when more than one image is being made of the same scene, for example, when bracketing the exposure. Use of a tripod may also allow for a more thoughtful approach to photography. For all of these reasons, a tripod of some sort is often necessary for professional photography as well as certain video uses. The rolling tripod or tripod dolly. One practical disadvantage of the tripod is that the camera operator cannot move it around while shooting. However, tripods can use a tripod dolly, a set of wheels that fit directly on the tripod or a wheeled base called a camera dolly, to become a rolling tripod. Although it sounds obvious, before moving a rolling dolly, remember to check that there is no cable or obstruction in the camera's path. It sometimes helps to give a slight push to align the casters in the appropriate direction before the dolly begins. Otherwise, the video image may bump a little as the tripod starts to move. The monopod. The monopod is an easily carried, lightweight mounting. It consists of a collapsible metal tube of adjustable length that screws to the camera piece. The extendable tube can be set to any convenient length. Braced against a knee, foot or leg, the monopod can provide a firm support for the camera, yet allow the operator to move it around rapidly for a new viewpoint. Its main disadvantage is that it is easy to accidentally lean the camera sideways and get sloping horizons. And of course, the monopod is not self-supporting.